Okay, so get this. The Onion, the satire website, the one bought Infowars.
Yeah, I saw that. It's pretty wild, right?
It sounds like a headline from The Onion itself.
It really does.
Yeah.
Like, is this real life?
Exactly. So for those who might not know all the details, can you give us a quick rundown on Infowars and Alex Jones?
Sure thing. So Infowars is this website and media platform that's been around for a while now, and they're known for promoting, conspiracy
Like
theories.
what kind of conspiracy theories?
All sorts of stuff,
Yeah.
like, government cover-ups, secret societies, that kind of thing. And the man behind it all is Alex Jones.
Right, Alex Jones. He's the one who got into a ton of trouble for the things he said about the Sandy Hook shooting, right?
Yeah, that's right. He spread all these false claims about the shooting being a hoax, and the families of the victims sued him for defamation.
And he lost those lawsuits big time, didn't he?
He did. A jury ordered him to pay over $1 billion in damages.
Wow, $1 billion. That's gotta hurt.
Yeah, it definitely put a strain on his finances. It actually led to Infowars filing for bankruptcy.
So that's where this whole Onion thing comes in, right?
Exactly. Infowars went up for sale as part of the bankruptcy proceedings.
Okay, so it was like a fire sale for a company's stuff.
Kind of. It's
Mm.
called a bankruptcy auction. Interested parties submit bids for the company's assets.
And in this case, the asset was Infowars itself.
Exactly. All its content, its brand recognition, everything.
And out of all the potential buyers, the Onion was the one who came out on top.
It was a sealed bid auction, so nobody knew who was bidding or how much they were willing to pay. But when the bids were open there, it was the Onion.
I mean, I get that they're both media companies, but they're like polar opposites, right?
You're telling me one's known for satire and the other for conspiracy theories. It's a strange pairing, to say the least.
It's like mixing oil and water. They just don't seem to go together.
And yet here we are.
So how did this even happen? Like, what was the Onion thinking?
Well, that's $1 million question, isn't it? There are a lot of theories floating around, but nobody knows for sure what the Onion's true intentions are.
I read somewhere that the Sandy Hook families were actually involved in this whole thing.
That's right. They were actually very supportive of the Onion's bid.
Really? Why is that?
Well, they saw it as a way to potentially silence Infowars and prevent it from spreading any more harmful content.
That makes sense. They've been fighting so hard to stop those conspiracy theories from spreading.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they saw this as a way to strike at the heart of the problem by taking control of the platform itself.
So it's like a way to reclaim the narrative.
You could say that they're trying to turn a platform that was used to spread lies and misinformation into something that could potentially promote truth and healing.
That's powerful. But how do you even begin to do that? I mean, Infowars is so deeply associated with these conspiracy theories.
It's a tough challenge for sure.
Yeah.
But the Onion is known for its sharp wit and its ability to hold a mirror up to society.
Yeah. They're not afraid to push boundaries and make people uncomfortable.
Exactly. And maybe that's what it takes to dismantle a platform like Infowars.
Well, they certainly got everyone's attention with this move. People are talking about it everywhere.
That they are. It's the talk of the town. And I think that's part of the Onion's strategy, to get people thinking and talking about these important issues.
So what did the Onion actually say about all of this? I mean, did they release a statement or anything?
They did. Actually, they put out a statement that's classic Onion.
Oh, I bet it's hilarious.
It is. They quoted their fictional CEO, a guy named Bryce P. Tetrader, who said that Infowars is an invaluable tool for brainwashing and controlling the masses.
Oh my God, that's so good.
Right. Totally tongue-in-cheek.
So what are they actually going to do with Infowars? Are they really going to try to brainwash people?
Well, of course not. That was just the Onion being the Onion.
So what is the real plan then?
Well, the Onion's CEO, Ben Collins, has said that they wanted to turn Infowars into a very funny, very stupid website.
Interesting. So they're going to use humor to combat misinformation.
That seems to be the plan. They're bringing in some of their top writers from the Onion and Clickhole to make it happen.
Yeah. Okay. I'm starting to see where they're going with this, but I'm still a little skeptical. I mean, can humor really change people's minds?
It's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what makes this whole situation so fascinating.
Yeah.
We're about to see a real-life experiment unfold.
It's like a social experiment on a massive scale.
Exactly. And the results could have far-reaching implications for how we deal with misinformation online.
I can't wait to see what happens next. This is going to be interesting.
It certainly is.
So what about Alex Jones? What's he saying about all of this?
Oh, he's not happy about it at all. He's been posting videos online ranting and raving about how the Onion is part of some grand conspiracy against him.
Of course he is. He's never going to let go of that angle, is he?
Doesn't seem like it. He's already calling the Onion the Connecticut Democrats with the Onion newspaper.
Oh boy. This is gonna get messy.
It already is.
Yeah.
And it's about to get even more interesting. Because guess what?
What?
The Onion wasn't the only one who wanted to buy Infowars.
Wait, seriously, who else was interested?
We don't know their identities. But apparently both supporters and detractors of Alex Jones put in bids.
So there were people who wanted to see Infowars continue.
It seems that way. Maybe they wanted to keep the platform alive and keep spreading those conspiracy theories.
But there were also people who wanted to see it shut down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe they wanted to dismantle the platform and prevent it from doing any more harm.
Wow. So it was like a bidding war between two completely opposing forces?
It really was.
Yeah.
And that just adds another layer of complexity to this whole story.
Man, this is like something out of a movie.
I know, right? It's got all the elements of a great drama, conspiracy theories, satire, legal battles. It's all playing out in real time.
It's hard to believe this is actually happening.
I know. But it is. And it just goes to show that we're living in some pretty strange times.
That's for sure. So what do you think is going to happen next?
I have no idea. But I can't wait to find out.
Me neither. This is going to be wild.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like a real head scratcher. You have these two groups with totally different goals, both wanting to buy the same thing.
It's crazy, right? I mean, who are these people who are actually supporting Alex Jones?
Well, it's hard to say for sure. But you have to imagine that there are some people out there who genuinely believe in the things he's saying.
Like those deep state conspiracy theories and stuff.
Exactly. They might see him as a truth teller, someone who's exposing the secrets that the government is trying to hide.
And they probably see the Onion buying Infowars as some kind of attack on their beliefs.
Oh, definitely. They probably think that the Onion is trying to silence Alex Jones and prevent him from spreading the truth.
Which is ironic considering that the Onion is known for satire.
It is kind of funny when you think about it. They're like the ultimate troll.
But then you have the other side of the coin, the people who want to see Infowars shut down.
Right. Those are the folks who see Alex Jones as a dangerous demagogue, someone who's spreading harmful misinformation and inciting violence.
And they probably think that the Onion is doing the right thing by trying to take control of the platform.
I'm sure they do. They probably see it as a way to protect the public from being exposed to those harmful ideas.
It's fascinating how one event can be interpreted in so many different ways.
It really is. It just goes to show how divided we are as a society.
Yeah, and how much power these online platforms have.
That's for sure. They can be used to spread information, but they can also be used to spread misinformation and hate.
And it's often hard to tell the difference.
That's the scary part, especially with the rise of deepfakes and other forms of AI-generated content. It's getting harder and harder to know what's real and what's not.
So how do we even begin to combat misinformation in this kind of environment?
It's a tough question. I don't think there's any easy answer.
I mean, censorship is obviously not the solution.
No, definitely not. That would just make people more distrustful of the government and the media.
But we can't just let people spread lies and hate with impunity either.
Exactly. It's a tricky balance. We need to find a way to protect freedom of speech while also protecting people from harm.
Maybe this whole Onion Infowars situation is part of that process?
Maybe. It's certainly gotten people talking. And that's a start.
You know what else is interesting about all of this?
What's that?
The role of the Sandy Hook families.
Oh, yeah. They've been incredibly brave and resilient throughout all of this.
It can't be easy for them to see Alex Jones still out there spreading those lies about their loved ones.
Not at all. But they've never given up on fighting for justice.
And they've been really smart about it, too.
How so?
Well, instead of just trying to silence Alex Jones, they're trying to change the narrative.
You're right. They're using their platform to amplify the voices of the victims and their families.
And to promote gun control measures that could help prevent future tragedies.
They're turning their pain into action. And I think that's really inspiring.
It is. And it's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there's always hope.
That's a good point. We can't let the Alex Joneses of the world win. We have to keep fighting for what's right.
And we have to keep believing that truth will eventually prevail.
Exactly. Even if it takes a little satire to get there.
Well said. So where do we go from here? What do you think the future holds for Infowars?
It's hard to say. But I have a feeling that the Onion is going to have a lot of fun with it.
I think so too. They're masters of satire and they're not afraid to push the envelope.
And who knows, maybe they'll actually be able to change a few minds along the way.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yep. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is a wild story. Like something out of an alternate reality.
But it's a reminder that reality is often stranger than fiction.
Truth is stranger than fiction. And it definitely makes you wonder what's going to happen next. I mean, can the Onion actually pull this off? Can they turn Infowars into something completely different?
It's a tall order. I mean, we've talked about the potential pitfalls, like
Yeah.
people not getting the joke or the message getting lost in translation.
Right. And there's always the risk that it could backfire, that it could actually give Infowars more legitimacy or make those conspiracy theories seem more mainstream.
That's a scary thought. But what if it works? What if The Onion actually succeeds in using humor to dismantle a platform that's been built on misinformation?
It would be pretty remarkable. It would be like watching a magician pull a rabbit out of a hat.
Like a really big, hairy, conspiracy theory spewing rabbit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it could have a ripple effect. It could inspire other people to use humor and satire as a weapon against misinformation.
It would be like a new form of online activism, fighting fire with funny.
Yeah, I like that, fighting fire with funny. It's got a nice ring to it.
So what do you think are the chances of The Onion actually succeeding?
Honestly, I have no idea. It's a gamble for sure, but it's a gamble that I'm kind of excited to watch unfold.
Me too. It's like a high-stakes social experiment.
Exactly. And we're all part of it, whether we like it or not.
So what do you think is going to happen to Alex Jones in all of this?
Well, he's already making a lot of noise about it. He's been posting videos online claiming that The Onion is part of some deep state conspiracy to silence him.
It's not going to go down without a fight, that's for sure.
No way. He's going to milk this for all it's worth. He'll probably use it to raise more money and attract more followers.
He's a master of self-promotion, I'll give him that.
Yeah, he's definitely got a knack for staying in the spotlight.
So what do you think? Is this the end of Infowars as we know it?
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
I think it's too early to tell. But I do think that this whole situation is a sign that the tide is turning.
How so?
Well, I think that people are finally starting to wake up to the dangers of misinformation.
And they're looking for new ways to combat it.
Exactly. And maybe humor is the answer. Maybe we need to start laughing at these conspiracy theories instead of getting angry about them.
Maybe that's the way to disarm them.
You know what they say? Laughter is the best medicine.
And maybe it's the best antidote to misinformation, too.